Hi, everybody. My name is Megan. I'm going to be a senior this fall. I am a dual major in business economics and fashion merchandising, and I am from Monroe, New York. I wanted to thank you all for coming to our virtual tour today. We wish we could have you here in person, but I promise you're going to get a great experience either way. So I will be giving the tour, walking you through it, and then we also have somebody on the back end who will be answering your questions and doing that sort of thing. So I will let her introduce herself.
Hi everyone, I'm Gia. I'm also going to be a senior this fall, and I'm also a business economics major, and I'm from Mount Sinai over on Long Island. So like Megan said, I'm going to be on the back end doing all the questions. So you'll see you guys have a chat box. Whatever questions you think about throughout the whole tour, throw them in the little Q&A, and I'll be able to get to them in between every so stops or so. So we'll go back to Megan, and she can give the tour for you guys.
So right now, you guys are looking at the Welcome Center, and this is one of the newest additions we have to campus. But this building is the home to all of your admissions counselors and where your tours would usually start from. But as you start to walk towards campus, you'll get the iconic view of Oneonta. This is the view that everybody loves. You see it on every Snapchat story. You've probably seen it on our Instagram countless times. But this view also has a really cool tradition. So as you walk down the steps, you'll see the pillars. These are the only remaining structure from the campus's first building, Old Main. That building was destroyed by a fire, but the pillars have a super cool tradition. So the night before the first day of classes, incoming freshmen and transfers will stand right here and they'll pass through the pillars towards the quad, signifying their entrance into SUNY Oneonta. And then the night before graduation, seniors will pass through the pillars the opposite way, signifying their entrance into the alumni, and the president holds a big champagne toast. It's a really cool tradition. One of the coolest things I think we have. And is there's also a superstition that there's bad luck, or maybe you won't graduate if you pass through the pillars at any other point in time. So unless you're coming or going, people stay far away from the pillars. Right now, you are looking at Fitzell, and this is the biggest academic building on campus. So this is the home to the education, philosophy, sociology, African Latino studies, mathematics, and statistics majors. So as you take a peek inside, the theme for this building was to have the students in mind. So they have a lot of places to sit and study and do your work. That's not the traditional sitting behind a desk in the library or in your room, or even sitting on your bed in your room, in your dorm room. So I personally love this building for this because I can meet with friends, have lunch in between classes, and not feel like I'm confined to feeling like I need to study if I just need a quick break. So here on every single floor, there are benches and booths as well. And then classrooms in this building are somewhat bigger than your smaller classrooms, but the average class size is about 24, and the student to faculty ratio is 17-1. So you'll definitely get that small classroom relationship and that relationship with your professors here at Oneonta, because you're not just a number. I had professors who could recognize me outside of the classroom. My accounting professor, I always saw her in Starbucks, and she would always ask me how I was doing, if I needed any help with anything. I would see her walking tours around campus, ask my tours if they needed any information about the accounting department, anything like that. So the professors really make it a point to get to know their students, and I think students should do the same. I live by you get what you give to a situation. So if you give a lot of effort, your professors will give a lot of effort as well. Also in Fitzell, we have Seasons Cafe, and this is one of your retail dining locations. So I'll talk more about your dining plan a little later on. So just remember, Seasons Cafe is a place where you can spend those retail dining dollars. Seasons Cafe is great. They have coffee, bagels, pastries. They have a Greek yogurt bar. I am known for my coffee from Seasons. You can ask Gia, but otherwise, this is probably one of my favorite spots on campus. And you can also use a debit card here if you decided not to use declining dollars, but everybody usually uses declining dollars around campus. But I'll let Gia see if we have any questions so far.
All right, so I'm loving that we already have some questions, so definitely keep them coming. So one of our first questions is, what size are most of your classes? So Megan did get a chance to touch on this, but just to reiterate, our average class size is 24 to 30. It all really depends, but that is where you're going to find it, sort of like your average high school class size. But when you're here at Oneonta, it definitely does not feel like you're in high school, but you get that really great relationship, like Megan said, with her accounting professors. I've gotten that with my economics professors, literature professors. All of them really want to get to know you, so those are definitely great. The sizes of your classes, I really am barely ever in a huge class, which is amazing for my learning type. So our next question is, will all of my classes be in the same building? So no, they won't be. Megan will show you around quite a few different academic buildings, but we have a lot on campus. All of them sort of have different purposes, whether they have more lecture hall styles or labs or computer labs, different stuff like that to really accommodate all of the different kinds of classes you need. I honestly really enjoy moving around classes throughout the day because it gets my legs moving. It really kind of gets me to see all the classes. And I really honestly like the little commute from one building to another where I get to see my friends in between, you get to wave. So it's always definitely really nice switching up your buildings that you have your classes in. So this is it for questions right now, but definitely keep them coming. Any question you think of is a great question, and I'll be able to answer it. But for now, back to Megan.
So right now, you all are looking at the academic quad, and this is like the heart of campus. When classes are changing, people are out here hanging out with their friends. This is a really great spot during orientation. Professors will even sometimes hold class outside in the quad. But while I have you in the quad, I just want to show you a quick map of campus. So right here, where you're looking at all of our academic buildings. So all of our academic buildings are pretty close together. So you're able to schedule classes back to back and have classes in different buildings and have more than enough time to get to them. And then over here is where you're going to find most of your residence halls. So these are where you would live. I lived right here my freshman year, and it took me about 10 minutes to walk to class, and that was to get all the way to Fitzell. So, and that was me walking at a pace that you walk when it's 8 o'clock in the morning. So, you can really get where you need to go in a really timely manner, which is one thing I love about Oneonta. I always say that our campus is pretty compacted, but it feels big. I also like to say that we're considered a medium-sized campus, and I like to say that I see a new person and I meet a new person everywhere I go, but everywhere I go, I also see a familiar face, which I really enjoy. But also, so you can take a quick look at some things that happen in the quad. So the first Friday of every semester is Red Day, and this is a big party we have in the quad for the college's birthday. They give out the discussion read book, they play games, you get t-shirts and cupcakes, and we sing happy birthday, and it's a whole bunch of fun. Here's a picture of students just hanging out with their friends. I think there's even a picture here of students getting taught. So their professor took class outside, and I've had class outside, and you get an even better experience when you're out in the sun, and you can have a really good time with it. So the next place we're going to stop on the tour is the library. So I know it might not look like it, but the library is actually 5 floors. So you walk in and you're technically on the 3rd floor, but it's the 1st floor. And that's where you'll have most of your group work will happen on the 1st floor. So that has a really great seating arrangement. Again, they have the students in mind and want to give them a really great way to study. That's not the traditional way, but they also give that traditional option. So here's the 1st floor of the library, and they have booths and stools and high top tables and regular tables, and there's outlets everywhere. So if you have to charge your phone or you have to charge your laptop, you more than can do that. So here's a picture of the booth. This is my favorite place to study with my friends. Me and my one friend usually try to do this. We usually just span out across the whole thing. We bring a bunch of snacks and we have a good time. Also on the 1st floor of the library is Argo Tea, and this is another one of your retail dining locations. And this place is amazing. You can smell it outside, so it just drags you right into the library, and you get some tea, and then you can go do some of your homework. The second floor of the library is home to this tutoring center. So that's the student learning center, and all of the tutoring options are included with your tuition. So it's no extra charge to use the tutoring center. I completely took advantage of the tutoring center when I was taking my accounting classes, and I would not have gotten through them without the tutoring center. So they have two different options. You can do drop-in tutoring, where you'll go sit in a classroom with some other students, and other students from your class will probably be there, and you can drop in and get some study help and leave whenever you would like. Or you can do individualized tutoring, where you meet with a tutor one-on-one for about an hour a week. I've done both, and I've found them both very helpful. And then we also have a writing center, so they'll teach you how to write that really long research paper that you've never done before. They'll teach you how to critique and check your essays, which I also found very helpful. The third floor of the library, which is the one that you can see with all of these windows right here, that is the silent study floor. So there's no talking, no making any noise. A creak of a chair, an opening a bag of chips makes people angry. So I personally don't go up there because I talk every 5 seconds. But if you're somebody that likes a really quiet study place with an amazing view, the third floor is definitely for you. And then the basement is home to our technology center. So this is where you can go if you need a computer or a colored printer. With printers, you get $15 in printing quota every single semester. And it's 3 cents to print a black and white page and 5 cents to print a colored page. You will not run out of the printing quota, I promise. I one time had to print like a 50-page article for my law class, and it barely made a dent in my quota. I just held up the printer for a couple of minutes. But you can always have a friend transfer printing quota to you. So there's about 100 computers down here for you if you ever need them. There's computers on the first floor, and there's computers in your residence hall. So if you don't have access to a laptop, you can most definitely use the computers that are provided for you. And then in the sub-basement, we have like the Lundys with books and research material down there. So Gia, do we have any questions about anything so far?
Yes, we do. So we have some great questions about the library. So how crowded does the library get? Will I always be able to find a place to sit? Absolutely. It could be the busiest day during finals. The library is actually open 24 hours during finals week. So honestly, you're always going to find somewhere. And with the new renovations in the library, there's so much more seating now. Whether you're on the first floor, you can get yourself a booth with all your friends, or maybe you're up on the third floor, you're looking all around at the tables, and you find yourself maybe like a nice little, I don't know, they have these cute little like seat pods that I really, really enjoy. So there's literally always a place to sit in the library. And say maybe the library is a little bit crowded on a particular day, all of our academic buildings are open. So you could go over to Fitzell, maybe you go over to physical science, which you'll see later, Megan will show you. So you have all access to those, as well as in your residence halls. You do have a little study lounge in there as well. So you have so many options of different places to go and study that you really are never worrying about places to sit. So on to the next question, can I bring food into the library? So you definitely can. Like Megan said, you're not really going to want to bring it up to the third floor and disturb everyone with your munchin' and crunchin'. But on the first floor, we do have our Argo tea, which I love so very much. I like to get a nice chocolate croissant, maybe a muffin, a nice chai latte. I'm constantly eating the library, truthfully. So you definitely can, but just be aware of your surroundings and always clean up after yourself. Just act like a courteous human. So that's it for our questions right now, but definitely keep them coming. I'm loving answering them. But for now, back to Megan.
So right now you guys are looking at Mills Market, and this is also another great place on campus. I know I keep saying how great everything is, but I truly love everything that's on campus. So this is what I like to call your gas station convenience store on campus, and it's another place you can use those retail dining dollars. So the way your dining plan works is that as a freshman or a transfer or any student who lives on campus, you have an unlimited dining plan. So that means that you can go into any of the dining halls as many times a day as you would like and eat as much or as little as you would like, and that's a blessing and a curse. But you also get 315 declining dollars with that every single semester. So the declining dollars renew every single semester, and they transfer from fall to spring, but not spring to fall. And you can use the declining dollars in Seasons Cafe in Fitzell, Argo Tea in the library, Mills Marketplace is what you're looking at right now, and Starbucks in Hunt Union. We figured out that you can spend about $18 a week and you won't run out of declining dollars. Personally, all 18 of mine go to coffee, but I had a friend who would always buy milkshakes or she would always buy sandwiches. So you can really spend it on whatever you would like. But the market hall is great. So they have a bunch of different options. Like, let's say you wanted to make a sandwich and bring it back to your dorm room, or you just needed like a quick bite to eat, you could grab a piece of pizza. Or if you needed just a little bit of grocery shopping, but not enough to like go to Walmart, you can grab some milk, some sauce. They have like the cereals, they have orange juice, they have mac and cheese, ramen noodles, all of the really good unhealthy stuff is all in the marketplace. And then they also have a for real milkshake machine, which is everybody's favorite. It's one of my favorites. I personally like the chocolate and the coffee one. My friend liked the, what was it? The birthday cake one. So we all have our favorites in Mills Marketplace. And then as you head upstairs, you guys are looking at Mills Dining Hall. So we have 3 dining halls on campus. We have Wilsbach, Mills, and Holbert. So this is Mills. This is the more made-to-order dining hall, I usually like to say. So they have wraps, salads, Mexican, farm to table. They just opened up a Southeast Asian cuisine. And then they also have My Kitchen. So My Kitchen is basically a home-cooked meal away from home, is what I usually like to say. And we are the only college campus in the country that has a My Kitchen. So you can come back into My Kitchen and it's included with your unlimited meal plan and you can make whatever you would like. But everything is pre-cooked. So the chicken is pre-cooked to the right temperature and the right cooking materials are there. All of the meat is pre-cooked. Everything is really just like the pasta is pre-cooked, the hardness is taken out. You just have to do like a quick 5-minute heat up, which is super convenient. And then every once in a while, they'll have like a fondue night in My Kitchen. The president one time came and cooked us her famous chili. We had some YouTubers in there and they cooked like this giant donut and walked it around the dining hall. So My Kitchen is a really fun place to be. And every Saturday and Sunday, they have Mills Brunch, which is everybody's favorite. And then in Wilsbach Dining Hall, so that is your more buffet style dining hall. They have a diner bar, omelet bar, pizza, pasta, meal of the day, simple servings, vegan, vegetarian, salads, wraps. This one is really, I like to recommend this one if you need kind of like a quicker meal because you can just grab it and go. Willsbach is great for hanging out with your friends. Every Wednesday night they do Will's Wednesday. So you'll come and have dinner and then they'll have ice cream being served so you can get some ice cream. Willsbach also is the home to the Brain Cafe. So this is like a late night bite. So if you're at a sport or a club event or anything like that, you can come to the Brain Cafe after hours and get something to eat. And then Holbert Dining Hall kind of has a mix of Mills and Willsbach, but they also have stir fry station and soft serve ice cream and home to some really great French fries, I think. But I have come all the way to Holbert just to use the soft serve ice cream machine. I always try to make a cone, but then it falls over, so I have to get a bowl. It's a whole thing, but it's always a lot of fun. Gia, do we have any questions about dining?
So we haven't gotten any questions in about dining yet, but I know that was a ton of information. There really is a lot going on with all dining plan and all the dining halls we have. But I can definitely attest to Megan with the soft serve ice cream. I was always there getting ice cream. Probably my favorite thing about campus. One of them. But for now, we can go back to Megan and she'll show you our residence halls. And hopefully you guys will have some questions when we come back.
So right now you guys are looking at Golding Hall, and this is one of your freshman residence halls. All freshmen will live in an FYE building, and that means first year experience. So everybody in that building is a freshman besides your RAs and your RDs. So RAs are students just like you. They go to the dining hall, they go to class, they hang out with their friends, except they're specially trained to handle situations within the residence halls. And then your RD is an adult trained professional who also lives in the building, and they are what I like to call the big guns. So as you take a peek into the residence halls, they have a whole bunch to offer and a whole lot of information. So make sure you guys drop some questions to Gia if you have them. So when you first walk in, you'll see the desk, and there's always somebody at the desk to help you with whatever you need, whether you need like a broom to clean your room, or you want to bake something in the kitchenette, or there's no toilet paper, or you get locked out of your room. They're literally there to help you with whatever you need. And then all of the freshman residence halls are double style. So it's 2 beds, each roommate gets their own desk dresser, and their own closet. So I personally recommend lofting the beds up super high, like the one on the right. This way you can get a lot of storage underneath your bed, but you are free to set up the room however you would like. Usually people either request their roommate through the Facebook page that you'll get added to upon acceptance, or you can go random. The truth is you don't know somebody until you live with them, so I'm not going to say one is better than the other. Here's a quick peek at a desk. This student did choose to bring a printer with her, but like I said earlier, you do not need to bring a printer with you if you don't want to or you don't have the access to one. You can also bring like your TV, you can bring your game consoles, there's Wi-Fi, international calling, and all of that in all of the residence halls. You can also bring a fridge and a microwave, or you can choose to rent a micro fridge through the school, and that's just like a fridge and a microwave put together. What's nice about the micro fridge is that they bring it in for you upon move in and bring it out before move out, so you don't have to worry about transporting it. Here you can see a bunch of people hanging out in a room and having a really good time. This was something I did a lot. We would watch movies or just hang out, play games, and just have a really good time with one another. Each residence hall has a lounge on every floor, so this is where you'll find a couple of couches and a TV. We always did Bachelorette Mondays or watch the Yankee games, World Series, Super Bowls, always watched them together in the lounges. It was a really cool environment. Each floor also has a study lounge, so that's a completely quiet place for you to study that's located right in your residence hall. So if your roommate is playing music or watching TV, you can go into one of the study lounges and get some quiet time. Each residence hall also has a gym located inside of it, so you can get a nice workout right there in your residence hall if it's snowing or you just don't want to go to one of the other buildings. I definitely took advantage of this because I sometimes didn't find myself having time to like walk to the Alumni Fieldhouse and come back and shower and change. I just did it all right in my residence hall. Every residence hall also has laundry on every floor, and laundry is completely included with your tuition, so there's no extra charge to use it. And there's even an app called Laundry View that'll text you when your laundry is done, so you don't lug all of your stuff down the hallway for all the laundry things to be filled, and then you have to bring it back. It'll tell you which ones are empty, how much time is left, so you can always do your laundry at the right time. Usually we learned don't do your laundry on the weekends because that's when everybody's doing their laundry, so I usually did mine sometime throughout the week. Each residence hall also has a kitchenette on just about every floor, so you can bake your roommate a cake for her birthday, or you can make yourself some dinner. What's really, really cool about the kitchenettes is that you don't need to come to college with the oven mitts or the pans or the pots or the wooden spoons or anything like that. The desk at the front actually has all of that, and you can rent it out. So you can just use it whenever you would like it. The only thing you have to bring into the kitchenettes is this ingredients to make whatever you want to make. After your freshman year, you are considered an upperclassman in terms of housing, so you can live in quads or suites. So quads are 2 double rooms, a common room in the middle, and a bathroom located in the hallway. And suites are 3 double rooms, a larger common room, and a bathroom located in the common room. So here's a picture of a quad common room. I lived in a quad my sophomore year, and I had so much fun. We had a really great time. My friends actually lived right across the hall. We planned it that way. So we always, both of us had our doors open and we were running back and forth, and we always had a really good time. Gia, do we have any questions about residence halls?
Yeah, so we have some really great questions about residence life. So we'll start with the first question. Can I bring food from the dining halls to my room? So what we've been doing for all the time I've been here, I'm not sure exactly how everything is going to change up this year due to all sorts of circumstances, but what we've been doing is, yes, you can bring food from the dining halls to your room. So we have these to-go containers that I really appreciate them because they're pretty eco-friendly. You get your food from the dining hall, you can get whatever you really desire, put it in the to-go container, you bring it back to wherever you want to go, and then in a timely fashion, you return it back to the dining hall and they clean it and everything, so that you're really not wasting all plastic and to-go containers. But yes, you can definitely do that. My personal little thing that everyone knew me for is I would get to-go mugs. And so most people use it for tea, coffee, beverages. I use it for Lucky Charms, popcorn chicken. I would always put little snacks in there. That was my little hack. I would take that with me to class, take it with me to meetings. So you definitely can take food from the dining halls to your room. You can also obviously have food in your room. I was always packed on snacks in my room, truthfully. Like, I was one of the go-to people for snacks of all my friends. As for our next question, can you choose your roommate? And if you get a roommate you don't like, can you switch? So, multifaceted question. So yes, you can choose your roommate. There's a few different ways you can do that, but the most common ways, you go on the Facebook page for your graduating class, and then, everyone puts a little profile of themselves. They're like, hi, I love going to the beach and I love my dog. And then you find someone who, also loves their dog and also loves the beach, and you link up that way. But you can also go random. I personally went random my freshman year, and it worked out fantastic for me. And my sophomore year, I picked all of my roommates, and that also worked out great. But if you do get a roommate that you don't like, there is a lot of different things you can go through before you switch. So like Megan mentioned, there are those RAs, or resident advisors. These are students who are trained on how to deal with conflict. So before you go all drastic and switch your roommate, it's best if obviously you talk through it. They have things called roommate contracts, and you can meet with your RA and just try to work through it. But if accommodations can be made, you may possibly be able to switch, but we really recommend you try to get through it first, because most of the time you usually can. I personally don't know too many people who have switched their roommates, so usually it works out better than not. And always utilize your RAs. They're really, really there for you, and they're really great people. So as for our last question for now, can freshmen live in a suite on campus? So not really. All freshmen aren't going to be placed in the FYE buildings. That's where you're going to live. I, as a freshman, was so lucky for the FYE buildings, because you go in, you're all freshmen, you're all confused, you got no clue where class is, you don't know anyone. So it's really nice being, you're all little fish in a big pond, so you're all confused together, and it's really, really nice that you get to go through all that together. I also ended up living in a suite my sophomore year, loved it, but I also found sometimes I missed my freshman room. So when you're a freshman, you're not going to be living in a suite unless, I guess, there's some sort of crazy thing that happens, but you're going to be living in an FYE building. So keep the questions coming. They're definitely really, really amazing. Anything you think of, keep them coming. I'll have an answer for you. But for now, back to Megan.
So right now you guys are looking at physical science, and this is the home to most of your science majors. So this building is super cool inside. They just redid it, and the theme for this building is science on display. So all of the labs and things have really big windows so you can look in and you can see what's going on. It's really cool for someone like me who's a business major. This is totally not my world, but I kind of get a little peek into it when I walk through it. This building also has a whole bunch of natural light because it has so many windows, and all of those windows actually open and close based upon the humidity inside and outside and the temperature inside and outside. And then this is also a green building, so all of the plants inside are real, and it's super duper cool. There's also the Science Discovery Center inside of physical science, and this is like an interactive museum for college students and some of the younger students within our community. But so here's a picture of somebody in a lab, and this lab, like I had mentioned, has a really big window on the side, so you can see what they're doing, see how their classes work and all of that. One of my friends who is a science major, he would always say like his friend would come and say hi to him, and like sometimes it was distracting, but other times it was super cool because he got to show them what he was doing. Also located on campus, but not in physical science, we have a planetarium. So the planetarium show is super cool. They do one every single Parents Weekend, and then they do a couple throughout the semester. But the one on Parents Weekend fills up super duper fast. So if you want to do it, make sure you get to it super early. and you sign up super early. But otherwise, physical science is super cool. We always, me and my friends would always go in there and just study because the lighting was really great and it was a really cool environment. You don't need to be a science major to study in here or do your work in here, which is also like any other building on campus. Gia, do we have any questions about physical science?
So, luckily, no questions about physical science, as I'm so bad at science, but like Megan mentioned, I love studying in there. It's always a very, very quiet, nice building. I've written a 10-page paper in there. Fantastic. But we do have a couple little random questions here and there. So, do most people go random or connect ahead on Facebook? So, circling back to the residence halls, it's really half and half. I think about all the people that were in my freshman building, people I know from freshman year. It's really half and half. When you do go random, you have a little survey you fill out just talking about your preferences, like, you know, if you stay up late, if you listen to music while you study, this and that, and other stuff like that. So it's really, they try to put you with someone as compatible as possible. It's really half and half. I say definitely go ahead and check people out. And it's also just a great way to make friends, even if you don't necessarily want to be their roommate. So again, half and half. Then we have another question. So what size are entry-level lecture hall classes or intro classes taught in lecture halls, and how many students would be in those? So again, that also sort of depends. If maybe you're in a 100 level chemistry class, that might be a little bit bigger because a lot of people have to take chemistry. For me, I was in a like an intro to media studies class this past semester actually, and that was in a lecture hall. So this is, I feel like I really haven't seen any classes too big, really more than like 95 people. Even then, when I've had those big lecture hall classes, my professor still knows me. She knows my name. She can call on you by name, or he. They really know who you are, and they definitely want to make sure to get to know you. So for me, like, I don't work great with huge lecture hall classes, but they always make sure to make it very personal. But again, those are very, very rare. I'm going to be a senior this coming fall. I've only had 2 classes in the big, like 95-person lecture hall. However, the lecture halls, some of them do fit 200 people. I've never seen it at capacity unless there was some sort of event going on. So you really don't have to worry about the 200 size people lecture halls. But it's definitely pretty rare. I've taken like all of the intro classes I've had to take were mostly in a classroom size of like 25. So you usually get pretty lucky like that. But we'll head back over to Megan, keep your questions coming, but we'll head over to Alumni Fieldhouse now.
So right now you guys are taking a look at Alumni Fieldhouse, and this is the home to your athletics on campus. So we have 21 varsity teams on campus, so there's always a sporting event you can go to. But then in addition to the varsity teams, we have club sports. So club sports are just about the same thing, except they're a little less competitive, they're a little less of a commitment. You can do club soccer, club baseball, club rugby, there's even an ultimate frisbee team and a ski and snowboard club. Or you can do intramurals. So intramurals happen right on campus, and you can do them with your friends or even faculty members. And they have intramural volleyball, intramural wiffle ball, spike ball, basketball. I'm always on an intramural volleyball team, and it is actually one of my favorite things. Again, one of my favorite things that I do on campus. I absolutely love it. They'll like blast music, and everyone just has a really good time. And everyone is always trying to win the t-shirt at the end of the competition. But as you go into Alumni Fieldhouse, there's a whole bunch going on. So one of the first things you'll see is a fitness center. So the fitness center, anybody can use it. You just have to watch a quick video online to make sure you know how to use all of the equipment safely and correctly, and then you have access to it. Also, we have this is the home to our soccer, lacrosse, and field hockey teams. Soccer is probably one of the biggest sports on campus, but really any sport, you can hear the games across campus. Like my dorm room sophomore year was pretty much across campus from this field, and I knew when there was a game because I could hear it, and it was always super fun. Everybody wore red. They gave out t-shirts, like the little sticky things for the back of your phone to put your cards in. It was always a really good time. Pretty much any game that you go to, any sporting event you go to, the biggest game will be Battle of the Red Dragons, and that's a game between us and Cortland because we are both Red Dragons. I know you're wondering, but Oneonta did win both the women's and men's basketball games last semester, so we are very proud of that. But Battle of the Red Dragons is always a fun and super awesome event. We also have Battle of the Hill, which is a basketball game between us and Hartwick because we do share Oneonta with Hartwick. But those are also a whole bunch of fun. And then we also have Madness on the Hill, which is just like a big pep rally to introduce all of the sports teams to the student body and get everybody excited. We also have a track that is on up by Hunt Union, which I'll show you guys in a couple of minutes. And the track, anybody can go there and walk and do whatever they'd like, whenever they would like to go do it. And then we also have a baseball field, which also, this is actually not our current baseball field. The baseball field it's a completely turf field and it's absolutely beautiful. It just got redone. But the baseball team is also a really great way to get some entertainment and have some fun on campus. We also have a indoor track above the basketball court. So here's the basketball court. I don't know if I showed you guys this picture, but here's the basketball court. And then upstairs is an indoor track that's a 1/8 of a mile. And again, as long as the team or somebody isn't using any of the facilities, you can go in and use them and do whatever you would like. So I think like freshman year, we knew that on like Tuesday nights, the gym was empty. So we would go play like wiffle ball or kickball with basically like my entire hall, and we would have a really good time. Gia, do we have any questions about Alumni Fieldhouse?
All right, so no questions right now, but Megan's going to take you over to Hunt Union and then Red Dragon Outfitter. So these are going to, oh, she also has Spring into Fine Arts, haha. But keep thinking of some of your last questions and I'll be able to get to them. But for now, back to Megan.
So right now you guys are looking at fine arts, and this is the home to your music industry, theater, and art majors. But I just want to take a quick second to tell you guys that you're also standing at one of the 3 bus stops we have on campus. So the bus comes to campus every half hour on the 15 and the 45, and then every 15 minutes during the bit busier times. There's even a website that you can go on that you can track exactly where the bus is at all times. So you're never standing out in the cold waiting for the bus. You always know where it is. From campus, the bus will take you to Main Street or really any street intersection in town. And then from Main Street, you can go to South Side, East Side, West Side. South Side is where the little mall is. I call it the small. There's a movie theater, TJ Maxx, just about every fast food chain you can think of, and a Walmart over on South Side. And then East Side and West Side are just a bunch of places to get food. Some of my favorites are Undercover Eggplant, Brooks Barbecue, The Depot, all of that good stuff. But as you go into fine arts, you will see a bunch of awesome things. So one of the first things you'll see is the student art exhibit, and this is where students and professors portray their work from the year, and anybody can just walk through and look at the work and take pictures and hang out. Also in fine arts, so you'll most likely and will have to take some sort of art gen ed when you come here because Oneonta is a liberal arts school. So they'd like you to get a little bit of experience in all aspects. So I took ceramics as my art credit. And it was not what I thought it would be. I thought I would be like painting flowers and like doing like the pinch pots, like, you know, like the ones that you made in like 5th grade. I was sitting at one of the wheels, like spinning it, and I got covered in clay, but I have like 40 bowls now. So if you need any bowls, just call me up. I'll give you 1 or 2 or 6. So I don't really care. But ceramics was really fun, and it totally got me out of my comfort zone, which is what college is about. It's about trying new things. So I really, really enjoyed that class. We also have audio studios, and like I've been saying the entire time, the college really has the students in mind. So music industry majors get to sit at music boards and learn how to do that. Education majors' classrooms are set up like their classroom would be set up. Fashion classrooms have different fabrics and mannequins everywhere. Math classrooms have a lot of different blackboards you can move around so you can get multiple notes in one view, so you're not always erasing. So I always found that super helpful. Based on whatever I was doing, I was set in a classroom that would benefit me the most. You can also take drawing classes as one of your art credits. And then we also have 2 theaters in fine arts. So we have the Goodrich Theater, which is the bigger theater, and it can do up to Broadway level productions. But this is also the home to our Terps dance show, and Terps is an amazing performance that happens every semester. It is probably, I would say, one of the most attended events. Everybody goes and has a really, really great time. And then we also have the Hamlin Theater, which is a smaller black box theater for more student-run productions. And that actually has seating on all 4 sides, or 3 sides at least, so you can get a really good view from the entire stage throughout the entire performance. But Gia, do we have any questions about fine arts?
So, none necessarily about fine arts. Good, because I'm very not talented, unlike a lot of our really great theater people or Terps people. I love the Terps show. Megan whenever I do these tours, just gets me thinking about the Terps show. And those are always my favorite things to go to every single semester. I have so many friends who are dancers, but anyways. So we do have a question. Is it actually possible to drive through campus right now to look around? So, I mean, if you really want to make the drive up there, you can drive around campus. I've been up there quite a few times this summer. Not 100% sure of all of the regulations if the buildings are open yet or anything, but if you really want to drive around, I mean, definitely can if you want to. But those are it for questions now, so we'll head back to Megan and put in any questions you have in the chat, and I'll see you guys soon.
So right now you guys are looking at Hunt Union, and this is the student center on campus. So this is like the best place if you just need to escape and have a good time with your friends, get some coffee, hang out, do some work. I love it up here. Oh wait, I clicked the wrong button. Sorry. So if you take a look in Hunt Union, so one of the first things you'll see, and probably another great view we have on campus, is the Hunt Union Pond. And in the fall, this is absolutely beautiful. As you can see, this picture right here is right when all the leaves are changing. So the Hunt Union Pond is said to be shaped like New York State, with the fountain located where Oneonta is. I personally think it's true. I think it's really awesome, especially if you like see pictures from like an aerial view. It really does look like New York State. You are not allowed to swim or fish or do any of that such thing in the pond. You will get in trouble, except for one day a year when the Outdoors Club hosts Paddle Fest. You can kayak and paddleboard on the Hunt Union Pond. Fall semester last year, I paddleboarded, and I was actually terrified I was going to fall in, but I didn't, and I ended up having a really great time. Inside of Hunt Union, it is the home to the only Starbucks in a 65-mile radius. So if you want your Starbucks, you have to get it at Oneonta. Sherry at Starbucks, I really miss her. She knows my coffee orders. She knows my name. I walk in, she just starts making it. We have a really great relationship. But otherwise, I love the Starbucks. And then right outside of Starbucks is what we like to call the living room. And it's just a bunch of tables and booths so you can hang out with friends or do some work. And I personally love that it's called the living room because it makes it feel like home. The third floor of the Hunt Union has the ballroom, so a bunch of stuff always happens in the ballroom. So Club Expo happens in the ballroom, and that's where you can meet all of the clubs in the beginning of each semester, decide what you want to become a part of. Usually a lot of orientation events happen in the ballroom, so they'll do like a hypnotist usually there. Or at the end of the semester, what you're looking at is research day. So any student who participated in any research throughout the semester will get to, or throughout the year, will get to show their work off on research day. Downstairs in Hunt Union in the basement, we have the waterfront room. So this is where we'll do like poetry slams, or the lounge is down there, and that's actually coordinated by your orientation leaders. So it's a place you can go in between classes. They usually have like crafts or study tips going on. It's just a nice environment to hang out in. We also have the International Lounge, which has flags from every student who's come to Oneonta as an exchange student, or where SUNY Oneonta or people have studied abroad in. And then I also like to use this time to talk about Greek life. So Greek life on campus, Gia is in a sorority, so she'll probably be able to answer some questions you have about Greek life. But I like to say that Greek life is there if you want it. So about 18% of our student population participates in Greek life. If you want to be in a sorority or a fraternity and you want it to be your entire college experience, it most definitely can be. But if you are more not really wanting to do that experience, you don't really ever have to hear about Greek life. I'm personally not in a sorority, but I know Gia absolutely loves hers, so she can talk more about that if you have any questions about Greek life. But Gia, do we have any questions about anything so far?
So no new questions for the moment, but I feel like Megan just shared quite a bit of information. So once you let all that sink in and you start thinking about it, you can definitely ask all the questions. But for now, Megan's going to bring us to the last stop, and then she'll come back to me and I'll be able to answer any last minute questions. So make sure to ask everything you need to ask. You guys have definitely asked a ton of really great questions so far, but definitely if you have any more, I'm always here. So we'll go back to Megan for now.
So right now you guys are looking at Red Dragon Outfitters, and this is the home to the bookstore on campus. So first to the right side, we have the Damaski bookseller, and that's where you can get all of your textbooks. You literally just have to walk in and show them a picture of your schedule, and they'll get all the textbooks that you need. And then to the left is where you can get all of your Oneonta apparel. You can even order online. So if you're just itching to have an Oneonta sweatshirt right this second because you finished in a great tour, you can get a sweatshirt right online and they'll mail it right to your house. One question we usually get a whole lot is like, why did you choose Oneonta? Like, why do you love Oneonta? And my answer is honestly different every single time because there's just so much that I love about Oneonta. But one of the main reasons I did choose to go here was that it was the perfect distance from home. It's about 2.5 hours. But also that I loved the community feel that was here. I felt welcomed and at home the second I felt on campus. I could see myself walking to class. I ate in the dining hall on one of my tours, and I could see myself eating in the dining hall. And I could just see my future here, and I could see myself succeeding here, which is really what I've done. And I've had the most amazing experience. And I do not want to be a senior because I do not want to graduate. But otherwise, that is why I chose Oneonta, and I'm sure Gia can tell you why she chose Oneonta. So I'm going to let Gia finish out the tour and answer any final questions you guys may have. But from me, I just want to say thank you so much for coming today, and I really hope you enjoyed your tour, and I really, really hope that we can give you an in-person tour right on the Oneonta campus really soon. So I'll let Gia finish the tour out.
All right, so we haven't gotten any new questions, but while we wait if anyone has any last minute questions, I will tell you a little bit about why I chose Oneonta. So I kind of just loved the idea of Oneonta, and then finally when I was able to visit and really got an experience with a tour guide and understood what campus was about, what was going on there, it just, like Megan, like it just feels like home. So I really hope you guys do get the experience of visiting all the colleges you want to go see. So hopefully you do get that feeling. But I loved seeing all the people in their Oneonta sweatshirts on campus and people in their club sweatshirts and all involved and doing stuff and the tables around campus. It's just such a fun environment. And then also, when I was a senior in high school, I was extremely indecisive. I wanted to go to school to become an orthodontist. I can't do science. I don't know why I thought that was a good idea. But Oneonta really had every single major I could ever imagine myself even doing. So I had all the options I could ever imagine. So it definitely made it really, really easy for me, especially when I came in undecided. I was able to choose from so many things, and coming in as a freshman, I was able to take so many different classes. So I just had a lot of options coming to Oneonta, and it really just, honestly, also becoming a senior in the fall, it's been one of my best decisions so far. But finishing it out, we don't have any questions, but you guys asked so many great questions, so we hope you got all of your tour questions answered. But if you didn't, or you want to check out the campus again, you can always book yourself another virtual tour. But on that note, I'm going to say goodbye to everyone. I hope you're all doing well, and thank you for coming on the tour with us. Megan is one of the best tour guides we have, so I'm glad you got to experience her. And good luck with everything, and hopefully we'll see you soon.
Bye, everyone.